Okay, we're here with Jordan to talk about manipulating formulas. Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with a really simple example, the area of a rectangle. So here's a rectangle, and you probably remember if there's a length and a width. What's the formula for the area of a rectangle?
Length times width.
Yep, so we can have a formula that is area equals length times width, and we write it in this very simple way, A equals LW, with the LW meaning L times W. Okay, so that is really useful if we have a whole bunch of rectangles where we're given the length and the we want to calculate areas because we can just keep multiplying the length times the width for each one of those rectangles. But what if you have another type of a situation where you're given the area and the length and you want to be able to calculate the width? It's not so convenient to have it in this way because you would be plugging in the area and the length and then you'd have to do some math to figure out the width. So you want to put the formula in a different order, basically. What you want to do is you want to solve the formula for W, which is another way of saying you want to manipulate the formula, okay? All right, so in order to solve for W, what I like to do first is to get the thing that I'm solving for on the left-hand side of the equation. So we're just going to turn this equation around. It's going to look like this. And then we want to solve for W. So what's bugging you here?
The L.
The L. And what's it doing to the W?
Multiplying.
Multiplying. So what are we going to do to get rid of it?
Divide.
Divide. Okay, so let's go ahead and divide by L, and we have to do that to both sides, right?
Right.
Okay, and then what happens to those L's on the left-hand side?
They cancel each other out.
They cancel each other out because L divided by L is just 1, and so then we can have our formula there where W just equals A divided by L. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So that's our answer there. Let's go ahead and look at an example over here from a kind of science called physics. And this is a really famous formula here that is PV equals nRT. And it's about how pressure and volume and temperature are related to one another. So if you're, for instance, boiling a pot of water and it's getting hotter and hotter, it's creating more and more pressure inside that bottle of water, and the volume is getting bigger too. That's what this formula is about. Just out of curiosity, what do you think these different letters might stand for, given what you know this is about?
Pressure, volume, and temperature.
Yeah, the P stands for which?
Pressure.
Yep, and the V for volume, probably, right? And the T for temperature. The N and the R, you don't have to worry about that. There's some other things that kind of come from the world of physics. But just know that those are two other variables here, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so that's the formula that works. But what if we wanted to, say, solve for T? So let's say we wanted to find the temperature anytime we knew what the pressure and the volume were, and we know what N and R are. So how would we solve for T? Well, first step, just like I did over here, I want to kind of put T on the left-hand side, so I'm just going to switch them around like that. Okay, so now we have the nRT that was over here. It's just on the left side equals PV. And then what's bugging us here?
The N and the R.
The N and the R. And what are they doing to the T?
Multiplying.
Multiplying. So what should we do to get rid of them?
Divide.
Divide, okay. So now we're dividing by the N and the R, and those N's are going to do what?
Cancel out.
And the R's too, right?
Right.
Okay, and so then just on the left-hand side, what are we going to have?
PV over NR.
That's on the right side, and what's on the left side?
Sorry, T.
T. Okay, so temperature equals pressure times volume divided by NR. And that's our equation there. So this is just a convenient way to know that you can move equations around in order to make them more convenient for you to work with. Make sense?
Yep.
Good job.